marks its 55th Republic Day with a prayer marathon to seek the face of God to intervene in the country's economic fortunes. The national event is under the theme Overturning a National Crisis. The National Association of Christian and Charismatic Churches and the Prayer Summit International, organizers of the program, are entreating all Ghanaians to join at the various prayer centers to petition heaven concerning Ghana's economic crisis. The emergency prayer marathon, as described by NAC, is more crucial now because it will help avert any more disasters in the country. A member of NAC, Reverend Christy Do Tete, therefore entreated every Ghanaian to join hands to pray because she believes the people in authority are committing all kinds of atrocities and it was time for God to intervene. The prayers are to be said simultaneously across the country. Well, Daryl Kwao is at Action Chapel, the Accra Prayer Center. He's joined me over the telephone with some detail. Hello, Daryl.
Hi, Kemi. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you. What can you report from where you are?
Okay, so as you can hear from the background, the service is ongoing. It started about 30 minutes ago, and probably you may have mentioned it's a National Day of Fasting and Prayer called by the National Association of Charismatic Churches. It's under the theme Overturning a National Crisis, and like the theme suggests, it's a prayer meeting to pray for the nation, and various issues have triggered this. The past economic times, the recent flood and fire disasters. The men of God feel that this Republic Day presents a perfect opportunity to pray for the country, to avert any other crisis that may befall the country. And so from now to about 4 p.m., we will have seasoned men of God lead Christians all over the country, pray specific prayers. Built to be leading the prayer meeting this morning, Archbishop of the Action Chapel International, Nicholas Duncan Williams, the presiding bishop of the Lighthouse Chapel International, Jack Howard Mills. We also have Reverend Ampio Kofi. He's the head pastor of the Global Revival Ministry. They are built to lead this prayer meeting this morning, and we are told that it's a national event. So,
well, Daryl, tell us about attendance at the Action Chapel.
Well, the service started about 35 minutes ago, so people are trickling in their numbers. The auditorium not yet full, but we expect it to be full in a few minutes' time. Indeed, people are coming in their numbers to pray for the nation, Kemi.
Now, if you've spoken to some of these people who have come there to pray for the nation, what have they been telling you?
Well, they believe that, everything in this life is ordered by God, and that, sometimes you just need to see supernatural intervention in certain situations, and they have faith in the God they serve. So they've come around this Republic Day to just, put their faith into practice, pray for some miracles they need as far as the economy is concerned, as far as recent happenings, the flood and fire disaster is concerned. They believe that this presents a perfect opportunity for them to pray for the nation and the future of the nation.
Well, thank you very much, Daryl. We'll get back to you and when new developments emerge. Daryl Kwao joined us from Action Chapel International, where NAC is having its prayer marathon for Ghana. We'll go across the country also in a bit, but let's find out what people on the street think about this prayer marathon to save the nation.
The government needs to do something about it because it's very, 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 very ridiculous, serious. Because now, if you look at the system now we are living now, it's very, very hard, and it's hard for us, the young boy, the youth, we are coming on. Now, sometimes we go to around and we go church and sorry. So always before you left there, and all your monies are finished, and then when you look at your pockets, at the same time you will go to work. It's very, very, very hard, brother.
So would you say the prayers can help, save this situation?
No, I don't think so. The prayers can help this situation. This is a government issue. So the government needs to come out to help us. That's serious. So I don't think that is prayer. Prayer is a different issue when you need something from God. But this is a government. So when you pray, you can pray several times, you can pray 100 times, nothing can be changed. It's a government issue. So I don't think so. Prayers time. Thank you.
So what do you make of, do you think prayers can save the economic and energy, crisis?
I believe so. Why am I saying this? Is because let's look at it in the natural form. When you are with your father and you need something, you ask your father, and your father is capable, or because it's the father, he has the ability to provide. So I think we have to look to God. The Bible says Jesus started in prayer and ended up in prayer. So it is important that in all our endeavors we seek God and He will help us. Yeah.
Now, away from that, the police officer Emmanuel Ewia has been shot by robbers between the Pekik-Bava highway. According to eyewitness, the police officer was returning from night duty in a commercial bus when he realized the road was blocked. Ivy Setoji is joining me from the area with more. Hello, Ivy. Hello, Ivy.
Hello, Kemini. Good morning.
What do we know about how really the police officer got himself shot?
Hello?
I'm asking, what do we know about how the police officer got himself shot?
Okay, I understand this police officer, his name is Emmanuel Ewia. He was actually returning from a night duty in between Teve and Peki Highway. And he realized that he was actually on a commercial vehicle. And then he realized that the road was blocked. And he thought it was an accident that happened. So as a police, he got down to see what was actually happening. And immediately he got down, and the robbers, realizing that it was a man or a policeman, they just shot him on the thigh immediately. And then the robbers escaped. He also shot at them, but he missed them. He couldn't get them. And according to what I was told, he was returning at that time 3 a.m. instead of 6 a.m. because he was performing double duties. So that is in the morning at 8. Yeah, he was supposed to guard the bank.
And so how is he doing at the moment?
Right now, he's at the hospital. He's responding to treatment. But what they told me was it has happened at the same place like 2 times already. And just 3 weeks ago, the same thing happened. A driver was shot there. And it appears the police are not doing anything about it. So that is what is happening.
In this instance where an officer was shot, what do we know about what the police is doing?
Well, I've been trying to reach the police without, I've tried my best, but I couldn't get to the police. I don't know what the police will be doing at the moment, but I've tried. A policeman actually spoke to me earlier, but then we cannot disclose his identity. Yeah, so...
How are locals reacting to this latest shooting incident?
Well, the residents, they told me that they are really scared about what is happening because their lives are in danger, especially when they are traveling in the night and at dawn at that time. So they are asking that the police do something urgent about this incident because it's becoming rampant in that particular area.
Were any other passengers hurt in the robbery?
No other passenger was hurt anyway.
Very well. We live here. I'm also joined over the telephone by wife of Emmanuel Ewia, the police officer who sustained gunshot injury earlier today. Hello, Vida. Thank you very much for your time. Now, tell us how your husband is doing.
All right, thank you. By the grace of God today, he's okay. I'm on my way to the hospital. So there are other police colleagues that are helping me attend to him. I'm in one of them, the house. So as I'm speaking to you now, I'm in the house of one of the policemen. By the grace of God today, I learned he laughed to them. Yesterday, he was not able to laugh at all. But today, the message I got this morning was, they played some jokes with him and he was laughing.
And he's a healthy man. But how did you receive the news?
Madam, I was shocked. At one point I said, is this how death is? Because he told me he was going to work. Then the next minute I'll hear my husband is dead. I was shocked. Let me tell the truth, I was shocked. And I've been hearing of gunshot, but I've not seen a gun wound before. So seeing my husband's own, I was really surprised.
How does that make you feel at the moment, being the wife of a police officer? Do you still want him to go back to work?
Madam, I don't feel fine. I don't wish he will even go back to police. I wish he would do something else. The work is too risky. You die at any time. God didn't even call you. You can die any moment. What happened?
But your husband was a hero in this particular instance.
He was, but madam, his life was also at stake.
Well, and so what happens now going forward?
That is what I don't know.
Very well, Vida, thank you very much for your time. Vida Aria is wife of police officer Emmanuel Aria, who was shot earlier today by armed robbers when he chanced upon a robbery incident on the Pekikbeva Highway. Now, back in the capital city, Ghana should in August this year receive the second tranche of about $114 million from the IMF. I'll tell you when and what we'll use that money for when I return. Don't go away. Well, now, Ghana should in August this year receive the second tranche of about $114 million from the International Monetary Fund and its assistance program. It follows the conclusion of the IMF's review of the country's performance under the program. Head of the IMF mission team, Joel Tujas Benati, says Ghana is on track with all the performance criteria except for the ceiling on central bank financing to government, which was technically missed by a small margin.
The discussions covered the implementation of the program, the medium-term outlook, as well as policies needed to restore debt sustainability, macroeconomic stability, and a return to high growth and job creation while preserving social protection spending. Head of the IMF mission team, Joel Tujas Benat, says it will be making recommendations to the executive board for the next tranche of about $114 million to be released in August.
At the conclusion of this visit, our assessment is that the program is on track. Everything has been implemented as planned. In particular, the improvement in the fiscal position up to end of April was as programmed, with good revenue performance and strict containment of spending, in particular of the wage bill and other spending as planned. This is a good news. We expect the executive board to consider the first review of the program in August. After the decision by the executive board, a new tranche would be released, equivalent to slightly more than $100 million.
Finance Minister Seth Terkper, who is excited about the outcome of the review, is confident the economy is on a quick journey to recovery.
It's positive, as I said, but it's a matter of sustaining it so that we continue. But remember that this follows the consolidation which I presented for the end of 2014, which showed some consolidation taking place as at the end of 2014 and going into the program. We made the prior actions. So we are saying, I think the credit goes to Ghanaians also for the period of austerity, that we have been. And hopefully we'll see a turnaround as the indications clearly are beginning to show.
Meanwhile, the IMF, as part of its recommendations, is asking government to improve tax administration and eliminate tax exemptions to aid the expected economic recovery. Etonam C, Joy News.
of IFS, Professor Newman Kojo-Kusi, is asking government to outsource public financial management to the private sector. Professor Kusi tells Joy Business it is a sure way of dealing with challenges in the payroll government has been battling with. He believes there has not been significant improvement in financial management in the public sector as the same personnel are used over the period, and as the private sector should bring the desired change.
Over the years, we have had problems related to the payroll and the cleaning, and so many committees and commissions have been set up to clean the payroll. But anytime the payroll is cleaned, the ghost names are removed, they find a way of getting themselves back. So we said that, look, there are two problems with the payroll. The first one has to do with the systems problem. The second one had to do with human resources, the personnel problems. Now, on the system problems, the gift mix and the human resource information management system that are being implemented will deal with the systems. But how do you deal with the human? We're saying that the interministerial committee that's now working on the cleaning payroll, when they finish, we should outsource it. Outsource means that giving the job to a private sector to do while we pay them for doing it, so that they'll be able to entrench all the protocols, the controls, clean the data, make sure that we have accurate data in it, and run it, test the system, and make sure that everything, both the systems and human management, are robust and entrenched. Then thereafter, we can give it back to them. It's not something that is not new. Many countries have done it. In Africa, South Africa has done it. And so it's something that we think it should do now, at least, to get a hold on the payroll management.